The first 3 days. Depending on the national disaster, the first 24 hours can be relatively calm. If you're in the aftermath of a storm or an earthquake, this is a period where people are emerging from what is left of their shelters and making sure they are unscathed. If it's a disaster like a national power outage, most people are still relatively calm. We put a great deal of faith in our government, public services, guard, and military to restore our world following a disaster. This period of calm can last for about 2 days. After that, things begin to reveal how broken they really are. Stores that cannot process credit and debit transactions cannot sell to people without cash, and banks that cannot process deposits and withdrawals stop functioning. Just-in-time delivery services that replenish grocery and pharmacy inventories can't do so, and shortages of some items begin to occur. This fuels even more panic buying, which further exacerbates the problem. After 72 hours, people will begin to realize that help is not coming and systems will not be restored. The stress level of the community will start to boil over. If stores haven't been looted yet, it will surely begin by the 3rd day, as those who fail to prepare will desperately try to grab up the resources they now realize they need. If you have prepared, you can avoid being caught up in this dangerous time of desperation. If you have not, expect to be stuck with the herd making runs on stores. Likely, the police will not be able to keep ahead of the crime. Local curfews will be established, perhaps even martial law. What should you know about and do in the first 72 hours? Your first 24 hours is a little bit of a golden window for you to act. You'll need to decide if you're going to shelter in place or bug out. You should immediately fill every container you have with water in the likelihood that pumping stations will cease to operate. Your water may be gravity fed with those enormous tanks you see on the hillsides around your town, but those will not be replenished in a prolonged grid down situation. If possible, you should gas up your vehicle. Within the first 24 hours, if you need to go to the store, do so with cash if there's any supplies you need to top off. But again, only do this if you have no other option, as it is likely that people will be in a state of panic. So don't plan on this being your primary plan if you fail to prepare. Evaluate accordingly based on the knowledge of your local stores. In the first 48 hours, you should check in with your mutual assistance group if you've established these types of relationships. If you live in an apartment complex, you should coordinate a floor or building meeting to discuss posting guards at the entrances and other strategies to keep your building safe. Though phone and internet services may be down, apps like Bridgify that utilize mesh networks may still allow you to communicate with others or get news. CB or ham radios can provide you with critical communication abilities. A CB should be part of your prepping supplies because they are very affordable and vital to communication capabilities. You should also monitor your emergency radio channels to assess the extent and area radius of the disaster and base your decision on whether to bug out or bug in based upon this information. If you have a police scanner, you can monitor the chatter to determine how the disaster's aftermath is unfolding. Don't give too much credibility to the word-of-mouth rumors and gossip. Especially don't base your decisions on this type of communication. Assuming you have prepped in advance, your most significant decision in the first 24 hours is going to be whether you should stay or go. Your window of opportunity will begin to close after the first 24 hours. Roads will begin to fill up, and travel will likely not be a safe option any longer. Ask yourself, can I make it 90 days where I am? Even if the answer is yes, have a bug-out plan and bag ready if the situation forces you out. Your solutions for the first 3 days are to have some preps in place already, along with a bug-out plan. All members of your network or family could implement the communication plan you've already put in place before the disaster. You should monitor any potential compounding problems like nuclear power plants or dams. Most importantly, you need to assess whether staying in location or getting to a safer area is possible, which is your best choice during this golden window of opportunity.